Hey everyone, welcome to the channel for another Escape from Tarkov video, this time with some more tips and tricks for everyone grinding their way through the early game, or for anyone just looking for some advice to get ahead of the curve. For this video, I'll be focusing on some of the new mechanics, features, and barter trades introduced in the 12.11 patch, and some methods to find important items that you'll need in the early game now that the flea market is locked behind level 20, so we're stuck farming for items a lot longer than we're normally used to. I'm not going to let this intro run on too long, so let's get right into it, starting with some new and old barter trades that you can take advantage of at the level 1 traders. First up, I just have some simple barter trades for very useful early game equipment that I want to point out to everyone, which can help to save you some money if you find these items. All of these are currently available right from the start, so you don't need to unlock anything except for the mission to unlock Jaeger. First up, there's a couple trades for good backpacks, starting with the MBSS from Peacekeeper for 1 hard drive, which is very easy to find in almost any computer. You can also trade a day pack from him for 1 hard drive and 1 DVD drive, which is also very easily found in any computer, and this is a pretty simple trade to put together for a good backpack. You can also get a Berkut backpack for one of the black riot helmets that scavs are often wearing, so these are pretty easy to get if you kill a few scavs or if you spawn as your scav and it has the helmet. Next, for weapons, my two favorite barters in the early game are the Vepr 136 for 2 horse statues from Skier and the PP19 SMG from Proper, which requires 4 T-plugs. You can also barter for the 30 round PP91 magazines from Proper for a pair of pliers, and this is pretty good because this weapon is really useful in the early game. All of these items can be found in cabinets and duffel bags pretty easily, so keep an eye out for these items to get some easy weapons. For meds, you can get a car med kit for 2 rolls of duct tape, which are very common in a lot of different loot containers, and you can also get a Salowa first aid kit for 1 can of paid insect spray. And both of these trades are very helpful for getting good med kits early on before you unlock them. You can also trade 1 pack of matches for some painkillers, which can save you a lot of money since matches are very easy to find. The most useful medical barter for me though is 3 nippers for 1 CMS kit from Jaeger, which is very helpful early on for when you get some blacked limbs. The last 2 barter trades I want to point out are for food items from Therapist. First, you can get a lunchbox for 1 syringe, which can be found in any medical spawn, and this will get you to 100 energy, or you can use it for Jaeger's food placement quest. Finally, you can also trade hydrogen peroxide for a bottle of water, which will help you stay hydrated without spending 12,000 rubles every single time you need some water. Next up for this video, I have a quick loadout designed for one very specific farming run on reserve that can make you some easy money, and it's also a very good way to get a hold of hideout items and keys without really risking anything. For the loadout, it's designed as a minimum investment setup to run on reserve and extract through the sewer exit. So there's no backpack on this loadout, just a pistol, 2 mags, attack rig, and some basic meds. For the rig, you want to go with the Umka Hunter's Vest from Jaeger level 1, which is about 20,000 rubles and has 16 slots, with 1 4-slot pouch for large items. This is basically acting as your backpack for this run. Next, for a weapon, I just go with the M9A3 pistol and 2 mags, totaling about $150 from Peacekeeper. Then for meds, I just run 1 Esmarch and 1 bandage in my pockets, plus painkillers and a cheap medkit in my container. The whole loadout only costs about 40,000 rubles, so you only need to find 1 or 2 good items, toss them in your container, and you've paid for the whole thing. This kit is designed specifically to run reserve, as I mentioned, and my main route is to just head to the motor pool, which is right near the sewer extract, and then loot jackets and cabinets in the buildings until I'm full. After that, I just head to the sewer right nearby, kill a scav or 2 for some extra loot and extract, then repeat the run until I get sick of doing it. It's a really low risk farming strategy, and it's especially good for finding flash drives, gas analyzers, quest keys, and hideout items early on. Next up, I have a tip that's become really useful now that the weapon durability system has made Fence extremely popular to sell old busted up AKs to. For this tip, you need the workbench level 1 where you can craft AKM and AK-74 rifles using basic parts and even break down the VP209 into weapon parts to craft into better AKs. What you want to do first is to go to Fence and buy the cheapest, most busted up version of the VPO-136 or VPO-209 rifles that you can find. If they're stripped of parts, you just need to add a pistol grip, handguard, or gas block, which can be purchased from traders, so it's not red when it's in your stash. To get the weapon parts you need, you can break down a VPO-209 in the workbench, then you buy the other pieces you need for the craft, like the wooden handguard parts or the muzzle device, and pop it into the workbench to craft a brand new full auto AKM or AK-74 with full durability. This is a pretty good way to take any beat up Vepr you find off of a scav or buy from Fence for cheap and turn it into a fully repaired, upgraded AK. Next up is another tip for the workbench, and this tip is that you should try crafting some Magnum buckshot shotgun rounds using 1 blue gunpowder and some matches. The gunpowder can be easily crafted using 545 PS rounds or picked up from toolboxes, and the matches are very easy to find in a lot of different loot containers. These Magnum rounds do insane damage and are particularly useful early on when players don't have great armor or lots of painkillers to be able to walk it off. Take these Magnum rounds, pop them into a shotgun that you either find from a scav or buy from the traders, and you'll be blasting kneecaps in no time at all. These shotgun rounds are very powerful, and if you get good at using them to take out legs, I promise you will not regret it. In the 12.11 patch, weapon malfunctions and weapon durability have become an actual issue, and you can easily lose a fight if your weapon misfires at the wrong moment. It's already happened to me a few times, and I discovered a little trick to help with this kinda by accident. When your weapon jams, you need to use the Shift+T check chamber command to clear the jam, which can be tricky to hit mid-fight when you're stressed out and you're not really sure what's going on. I discovered though that if you swap weapons, your character will automatically clear that jammed round when you swap back to your main weapon afterwards. So if you carry a cheap pistol or you have a second weapon that you picked up from a scav or something like that, you can just hot swap to the second weapon, keep firing, and when you get behind cover or kill the other guy, you can swap back to the other weapon and the jam will be automatically cleared. Personally, I really love the incentive to actually carry a pistol for situations like this, and I'm going to be buying cheap PM pistols with 1 mag as a backup weapon to swap to when my guns jam. The next tip I have for you is useful once you've built the first level of the med station in the hideout, where you can craft 3 AI2 Med Kits by just using 1 pile of meds. These are fairly common to find in medical loot areas, med bags, duffel bags, supply crates, and on dead scavs, so you shouldn't struggle too much with finding them. It only takes 20 minutes to craft the AI2 Med Kits, and then these are really helpful to use to heal yourself after you die or extract with some black limbs that need restoring. You won't need to pay therapists for the heals, and you get a bunch of experience points for healing yourself, so you save a bit of money, gain a bit of experience, and it's a win-win all around. Another quick crafting tip in the early game is to look for the green fleece fabric that can be found in duffel bags, supply crates, and laying all over the place in the clothing stores on Interchange. 1 fleece fabric plus an MBSS backpack and 1 bottle of water will make you 2 scav backpacks at the lavatory, which are one of the largest bags you can easily get in the early stages of the game. You basically get one of these bags for free by using this method, and you can cut the cost down even farther by using the bottle of water all the way down to 1 point remaining, and then crafting the backpacks using that bottle. By doing this, you get your character hydrated and craft some nice backpacks at the same time, so it's really efficient and useful. The lavatory also does not require fuel to craft things, so this is a pretty useful craft. The next tip is pretty useful throughout the entire game, but it's especially useful in the early game because you need a total of 5 Iskra lunchboxes for some of Jaeger's very first quests, and they can be really annoying to find or craft in the hideout if you don't know where to look. Fortunately for you, I can change all that for you by showing you where to find guaranteed lunchbox spawns on Interchange. When you head there, you're looking for the small, square, black weapon crates that you can loot. There's a ton of these things scattered all over the map, and I even have some old Interchange loot guides that can show you where to find a bunch of these crates. Most of these specific crates on Interchange have a 100% chance to spawn a lunchbox every time, guaranteed. Once you find a few that you can easily get to, all it takes is a few quick runs into the mall and out to extraction, and you'll have all 5 lunchboxes that you need for Jaeger's early quests. These are also really useful because you can do one little pistol run with an empty container every now and then, fill it up on lunchboxes, and then you don't have to worry about paying for food for your PMC for basically the rest of the day. My final tip for this video is that you should take advantage of the new sorting table feature to help you organize your stash better, and this is especially true for standard edition players, and trust me, I know the struggle. The button to activate this is down in the bottom left corner of the stash screen and opens a second window that you can fill with items while you're arranging the rest of your stuff. This screen will expand infinitely, so there's no real limit on how much you can stick in here, making it really helpful for when you need to move around some large items to organize the chaotic early game stash. Another tip that's related to this is keep around good tactical rigs like the Triton, Azimuth, and MK3 to use as space extenders. A lot of tac rigs store more items than the space they take up, So if you use specific ones for specific items, say Tritons for meds and MK3s for quest items, you can use them like mini cases to store and organize your stuff. Well, that covers it for this quick video on some more tips and tricks to help you along through the early stages of the wipe. I'm loving how things have been shaken up, and I'm really enjoying the return to a more old school form of Tarkov where scavenging and managing resources is more important than just rushing to level 10 and getting rich immediately. I'm sure not everyone feels the same way, so let me know how you feel about the new update and changes to the mechanics down in the comments. I'm really interested to hear what you think. Thanks for checking out the video. I've got links to my Twitch stream, Discord server, and Patreon page down below for anyone interested. And until next time, stay safe in Tarkov City.